missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting! Oh, it's crap! Oh, it's bloody rubbish! Rubbish!
I had 3 small children when I first came. I dumped my 3 children and Barbara into Normanton Park to get the contract rubber stamped at the baseball ground, and they were on the swings. I set them off on the swings, so that's special. I lived in a lovely place called Alistry. I then moved on to Quarndon, and everywhere I went I was happy, and people were happy to see me. So that was the pull. My children describe themselves as Midlanders now. When I get on my high horse about Yorkshire, they say, well, you weren't born in Yorkshire. 2 were born in Sunderland, actually. My daughter was born in Hartlepool, but they still associate themselves with Derby. And, of course, all the schooling days, they went through Derby. And we're just there. We're a unit, part and parcel. We were helped when we got here, some very kind people. And we're cemented here now, and I'm afraid you've got me for a little bit longer.
Mindset on football. I know how I approach it, etc., etc. Make no difference whether it's Derby County or whether it's Liverpool.
I came 18 months ago from Burton Albion to be with Brian Clough. Brian Clough, the man I know, and I intend to stay with Brian Clough. He's fulfilled all I thought of him when I came from Burton, and I intend to go with Brian Clough to the top of the tree, and that we'll start at Derby.
The philosophy I've got is the fact that if there are 100 battles to be won when you take over a new job, you might as well get them all done in the first 3 months if you can. No point in saying, well, we'll take our time, get them out of the road, and then you can clear the decks and get down to what you think is the right thing.
Are we talking about players here now?
Anything.
How do you react, though, when someone, you know, from your playing staff comes in and says, boss, I think you're doing this wrongly?
Good. Well, I ask him which way he thinks it should be done. We get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.
Discipline is rather an overworked word in football today, because people say, how do you do it? You know, I never really give it a thought, because it comes that side of the game, it comes rather easy to me. Well, of course, to do that, you've got to be a little bit of a dictator, and yet you've got to have a little bit upstairs, because you can tread on so many people's toes. I like to portray nice things about myself. I feel we've all got this weakness. We all like to be liked. And yet show me somebody who's liked by everybody, and I'll show you somebody who's wrong. Ambition, it's a bit difficult to define with me. I'm settled in Derby, I like the job. We now have got all the players around us, Peter Taylor and I, who we've brought along, and it'd be a hell of a decision to go away from them. I associate myself with them, I like them, I get on with them reasonably well, from my angle, I think I do, and it'd be difficult to break away.
And I was giving the guests in the lounge a glass of champagne and one woman said, what are we celebrating, you know? And I said, well, we won the championship, First Division. Oh, she said, which First Division is that? And I said, well, for a living I work in football, you know. Oh, she said, I'm very proud and very pleased for you. So that's how I went out after that, and I think I drank the champagne to myself. Because I knew we were in Europe, and I thought, I want to bite at that as well. And those 2 memories stick there. By the time I got to Forest and was doing the mundane stuff, I'd already experienced the feelings you have when you achieve something, you know. It's like your first girlfriend, you know. You don't forget her, do you?
Did you ever think you were going to see this day come true, Sam?
Oh, yes, yes. I had every confidence that it would come true. I'm delighted.
Tell us now, have all the problems been ironed out about the gag and the gag on Brian himself?
Yes, yes, all been ironed out and agreed to.
Brian, what does this contract mean to you now after all this long time?
It means it's a beautiful day to sign a contract. We couldn't have picked a better one. It's for 5 years, and it means that we can settle down now and get on with the jobs we're being paid for.
Have all the problems been sorted out as far as you're concerned? I mean, so much pressure from the club, from the Football League to stop you criticising
just
people.
As a chairman, have they all been sorted out? Do you want me to say no when he said yes? Of course they've been sorted out. That's why the contracts have been signed and have been signed.
I certainly wish it finished differently, because it finished on an unhappy note, and I wish I hadn't have left, because it was the best job I ever had. The people I worked with were the best people until we fell out over some silly things. Pride in my case, and I think it was pride in the chairman's case at that time. I used to have a phrase, and Peter Taylor and I used to say to him, this team's that good, you could run it. And of course he got to believe it. And he lived out of town, and I think he used to get with his locals at Chapel on New Firth, and they used to say to him things like, now Sam, do you run Derby County or does Cloughie? And he'd bit occasionally. He'd say, I'm chairman of Derby County, I run Derby County. Well, of course, we used to see him once a week, just to say hello, a cup of coffee. He used to walk in with his big cigar, and that was it.
As I say, I've come to my adopted city. We're very, very, and have been for 35 years, extremely happy here. So have a pleasant day. Let's hope I bring you, I'm talking about Derby supporters now, which we all are, a little bit of luck this afternoon's match. And if you don't see me after half time, it means you've been bloody rubbish. And if you're not rubbish today, that'll be a change. I'm only kidding. Lovely to see you, and thanks very much.